Recubbed, a Lion-God fanfic by Lionkingview. Chapter 12. All the world's a stage, someone once said, and right now Simba, Nala, Kiara, Kion and Sarabi, as well as the Lion-God, had put up a play to convince the delegation from the Tree of Life that everything was alright. The savannah sun hung high up in the sky zenith, spreading its light to every corner of the Pride Lands like a flood. The Tree of Life delegation approached Sarabi, who was waiting at a border tree. From the outside, it almost looked like a standoff. High noon. However, neither party had come here to fight the other. Sarabi, it is so good to see you again, and might I add, you haven't aged a bit since we last saw you, Sahazi said as he approached Sarabi. It is great to see you too, but don't bother with needless compliments. I've learned to wear my age with pride, Sarabi replied with a smile. If you say so. Not to disregard your status as former queen, but I would have hoped to talk with the current royal couple. Yet, as your hornbill said, your king and queen have come down with a severe and contagious case of savannah fever, Sahazi went on. Unfortunate, isn't it? Sarabi said. Well, I'm sure we will manage to negotiate a new partnership between our kingdoms, with or without the king. It's more of a formality anyway, Ananda added. Indeed, smiled Sarabi. So, Sarabi started to show the Night Pride delegation around the Pride Lands while discussing any political issues that needed discussion. Unbeknownst to both Sahazi and Ananda, Bashte moved slowly with the group but half a mile apart, while Onu was circling overhead. Every time Sarabi didn't know what to say, Onu would tell Fuli, who would relay it to Simba and Nala, who, upon thinking about it for a few seconds, would come up with a fitting answer, and Fuli would get the message to Ono, who would then tweet it out in Zulu. Everything seemed to be going as planned, when suddenly... What the devil? Simba suddenly became distracted by a dark furred figure in the distance. What is he doing here? Fury in his voice, Simba went into a sprint towards what was now unmistakably Kovu. Oh crap, Kiara said. What does oh crap mean? Nala inquired. I'll explain later, Kiara said as she darted after Simba. Please just try and keep the information chain going. Don't let Sarabi down, Kiara quickly uttered before she went into a full sprint. Nala looked questioningly at Kion, who tried to avoid his mother's gaze. Care to explain? She asked her son. Oh boy, Kion sheepishly smiled. Outlander, what are you doing here? A childlike voice rang in Kovu's ears. Huh? Running toward him was an all too familiar looking cub. Get out of my kingdom now! The cub demanded. Wait, I remember you, Kovu started. And I remember you, so I guess that makes two of us. Simba tried to roar, but his infantile vocal cord didn't manage to produce any such sound. Last time we met, you were more in awe of me, Kovu said with a mocking grin. I was never in awe of you, Simba growled with condescension oozing from his voice. Kiara had caught up with Simba. Thank God neither of you has attacked one another. Oh, I will kick this outlander's butt soon enough, declared Simba once again, completely forgetting about his diminished size. Kovu chuckled in bemusement. That I would like to see. King Simba has his memory back. I didn't tell him about the treaty, Kiara told Kovu. Treaty? What treaty? Simba asked. Oh boy, Dad, the Outlander roams the Pride Lands under permission of Grandmother Sarabi, Kiara elaborated, not calling Kovu by his name as to avoid suspicion. Mom allowed him to... She will have to explain this to me right now, Simba said, fuming with anger. Before Kiara could explain anything, Simba was on the run again, this time heading for Sarabi and the Night Pride delegation. Kovu, don't take this the wrong way, but your timing really sucks, Kiara said in a mix of jesting and severe annoyance. Kiara went into a sprint to try and intercept Simba, leaving Kovu behind in a state of bemused bewilderment. I love you too, Kiara, he He chuckled and went back to his hunt. Dad, please wait. This is not a good idea, Kiara tried to tell Simba as she managed to close in on her father. I don't care. This was the one and only rule I insisted on never changing, and my mother just breaks it as if it was thin ice, Simba fumed. Do you want the delegation to see you like this? Kiara asked in the hopes that this would make the king reconsider his course of action. I don't care. My stance has always been clear. No outlanders in the Pride Lands. Simba didn't stop. My own mother betrayed me, Simba growled as he kept running. Kiara could swear that she heard some tears in her father's voice. It is my kingdom. I am king. My rules are to be obeyed, he yelled. Then, much to Kiara's relief, Simba stumbled and fell. Although Simba hadn't managed to actually get close enough to the delegation to interrupt the meeting, he was now in viewing distance. Before Simba could get up again, Kiara had pinned him down. Then she saw it. The king had tears running down his face. Kiara had wanted to yell at her father for what he had almost done, but now she didn't know if she wanted to do that anymore. I'm sorry, Kiara, Tears kept rolling down his cheeks. I just snapped when I saw the Outlander, and if it wasn't humiliating enough to lose my mane, my roar, my body size, I also couldn't prevent an Outlander from just walking into the Pride Lands, Simba said. He was visibly angry and upset. I was about to explain it to you, but you just ran off, Kiara said. Kiara, do you know how much it hurts to look into a pond and see that reflection? Simba asked. I don't, Kiara admitted. To me, being a cub means only one thing. Being powerless. Helpless. Do you know how many hours I spent in the jungle just looking at my reflection? Asking myself just how much of a failure I was. Sure, Timon and Pumbaa helped me to overcome most of the pain, and there's only so much you can tell a kid who thinks he murdered his father. I felt so happy when my mane finally started to grow. It meant I wouldn't have to see this useless reflection anymore, Simba finished. Feeling better now? Kiara asked as she got off of her dad. I think I still need a second, Simba responded as he gazed at the clouds overhead. A moment of silence passed, only interrupted by wind rustling through the grass. Are you two alright? Unbeknownst to both Kiara and Simba, Sarabi had stepped up to them. I told the delegation that I had to make sure the king's daughter wasn't bullying any smaller cubs, Sarabi said with a smile. It's alright, I was just getting carried away by kind of everything. I'm okay now, said Simba, wiping tears from his cheeks. Alright, Kiara, the delegation would like to meet the future Queen of the Pride Lands, Sarabi said. You can come too, but please watch what you're saying, Sarabi told Simba. I'm not an idiot, Simba said dryly. End of chapter 12.